episode of The Man Shreks. I'm JJ.
And I'm Sarah.
And I almost knocked over my water.
In a bit of excitement.
I am. I'm just so overwhelmed with excitement to be here. I mean, it's not that I'm not excited. It's just that that's a little silly. I do have a couple of bragging points before we get going.
Okay.
So we passed a couple of milestones, and I never acknowledged it. So our last episode was our 80th episode, which is massive. And we actually passed this weeks ago, but I never celebrated it. We have over 2,000 downloads of the 80 episodes. And so I know there's like
about half of those are yours, right?
Yep, it's just me clicking away. No, but I figure like I know like big episodes get like thousands of downloads every episode, but for our little thing, I'm astonished that there's that many downloads.
It is shocking, actually.
And I love it. I'm very grateful for everybody who listens, and so far all the people who like give us feedback, and a lot of them are connected to us in some way. They're friends or family or friends of friends or whatever.
Sure.
So we love those people. So thank you for listening, everybody. We appreciate it. All right, you ready to approach the news desk?
Sure. So I didn't vet these with you beforehand, but
I almost can guarantee you don't have any of my stories.
Okay. So my first story is the title just says "Costly Cuisine: 5 of the Most Expensive Foods in the World."
Oh.
Okay. So the first one is the most expensive French fries, where you can purchase them.
What?
I know.
So it's not rich people food.
No, it's like bougie
what's the
food.
Most expensive version of
$200 French fries.
No.
At a restaurant called Serendipity 3 on the Upper East Side of Manhattan in New York.
In America.
In America, they have a plate of fries dubbed creme de la creme pomme frite, and they're $200
for French fries.
They have, so these are this ingredient list is ridiculous.
Let's hear what's on this thing.
Chipperbeck potatoes, Dom Perignon champagne, J. Leblanc French champagne, vinegar, cage-free goose fat from France, Guérande truffle salt, truffle oil, pecorino tartufuelo cheese, shaved black summer truffles from Italy, truffle butter, organic 100% grass-fed cream from Jersey cows, and Gruyere truffled Swiss raclette, and a topping of 23-karat edible gold dust.
So that's cheesy fries. This is a bunch of fancy
Truffled
words for cheese.
Fries.
Yeah, cheese, and then gold dust. Which why? And then champagne. What are you doing with the?
They're like,
soaking
I think
it?
they must like it must be soaked in like a brine of champagne or something.
Interesting.
The second most expensive item is from the same restaurant.
All right, so this is like where wealthy people go to impress other people.
Don't go to New York City and eat this food. A $214 sandwich.
Oh my gosh!
It's called the quintessential grilled cheese.
No, what?
It's gilded in 24-karat gold.
That's so
Features
dumb.
champagne bread made with Dom Perignon champagne. It's covered in grass-fed white truffle butter and filled with slices of Caciocavallo Podolico cheese.
It's grilled. It's actually grilled cheese. Even like
dusted with 24-karat gold.
Give me $200 and I will make you.
Oh my gosh, $200 is more than I spent on groceries in a week.
Yeah, like that's amazing.
Insane.
Well, and it's like grilled cheese. You can make a darn good grilled cheese sandwich.
I just made grilled cheese for what? $1.90 for the cheese, and what that sourdough loaf is $3.50.
There you go. So and that fed 6 people. This is one sandwich.
That is ridiculous.
I love grilled cheese. Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure that's a good grilled cheese.
But $200 worth of grilled cheese.
The difference between that bite and like a really good grilled cheese at a diner that costs $10, like that's not going to be that much of a difference. Other than the gilded and gold thing, which is gross. Like, that's no way. That doesn't taste good.
It doesn't add flavor profile.
No, it just looks nice.
Looks ritzy.
Oh my gosh.
So if that's not your taste,
that's not.
Go for the most expensive crab cake for $310. It's from a restaurant called The Twist in Columbia, South Carolina. The opulent seafood creation features king crab meat, butter, herbs, black truffles, platinum leaves, and platinum dust. It's literally covered in like it looks like silver tinfoil.
I don't think that would be yummy.
I don't think so either. Okay, but then the price jump gets extreme.
Oh my gosh.
Most expensive ice cream.
What?
$6,000, $696. $6,696 for a dessert. A Japanese brand gelato developed a flavor called Byakuya that retails for $6,600 per serving.
$6,000.
It includes a rare white truffle grown in Alba, Italy, that costs $6,900 per pound.
The truffle does. Wow.
And it also includes Parmigiano Reggiano.
Hey, we know all about that. That's the actual Parmesan cheese from that one region of Italy.
Ice cream like that. This is like a savory ice cream. That sounds disgusting.
Oh, no, that doesn't sound good at all.
And last but not least, the most expensive cheese at $32,000.
No, nobody spent. No.
A
what?
4.8 pound wheel of Cabrale blue cheese, manufactured by Guillermo Pendas at his family's Los Puertos factory, was auctioned for a record-breaking $32,000 after taking top honors at the 51st annual Cabrales cheese competition in Las Arenas. It earned a Guinness World Record for the most expensive cheese sold at an auction.
That's more than we put as a down payment for our house.
It's ridiculous. It's aged in the mountain caves of Asturias. Like, what?
That's insane.
Who's buying a $32,000 block of cheese?
Baffling.
So if you have expensive taste, there's your list.
Wow. See, and I there's two levels. On the one, we're just not wealthy people, and that's fine. Like I don't even want to make it sound like we're like poor. We are so blessed. We have a roof over our head, food on our table on a regular basis, even though we have 4.5 children. I'm so blessed. I don't complain
Priorities,
at all.
Man.
But
I'm
I think
not gonna spend.
I win the lottery tomorrow, and they ship in truckloads of cash and it fills my living room. I'm still not gonna buy the $200 grilled cheese sandwich. I can't do it. Even if you have money, it's like I could go fund an orphanage or something, anything. And I wonder how much of that is just the Midwest sensibility. That's just not how you do. You don't even pay full price when I have the money for it. You got to find the sales and get the thrifts and,
That's why we only get Big B when we have a BOGO.
My favorite story about expensive food, because when we first got married, we have this tradition on our anniversary. We haven't done it in a while since kids, but before we had kids, we would always find a really nice restaurant for our anniversary, and we would go up to the top of a building to eat at the restaurant at the top
building that had a restaurant.
So we did it in 3 or 4 different cities. We did it in Detroit and in Grand Rapids when we were up in the UP and in Chicago. But the Chicago story is my favorite one. We went up there to whatever that restaurant is at the top.
The Signature Room at the John Hancock.
Yes, way up there. And we go up there and it was really nice, and we got drinks and dessert, and it was crazy expensive and a little disappointing.
Our drinks were not very good.
No.
We paid $14 for that. I got a chocolate espresso martini, and I was like, this actually is not even very good.
And so we got done with that, and we kind of looked at each other like that was a disappointing experience.
We wanted French fries or something.
So we went to the Irish pub that was 2 blocks over, and everything was super cheap, and it was amazing. And that finished off our night. And I think of that night all the time when I think about how much money people spend. And I just think to them...
But for the John Hancock, I mean, you're paying for the view.
You're
That's
paying for the
what
experience.
You're paying
and
for.
It was a great view. Don't get me wrong.
It was a good view. It was a good experience. But quality of the
was not
food
worth
we
the
were served
cost.
was not worth the cost. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and I think a lot of people are in this boat. But I don't feel that desire to show my status by paying for a gold gilded block of cheese or whatever for $32,000.
No,
that's amazing.
Appeal to me either.
I love cheese. Don't get me wrong, but you can get you go to the cheese house in Frankenmuth, you can get some really good cheese for $10, and I think that's expensive.
I know, me too. But it is good cheese.
That's a good story. That's right up our alley. Rory McIlroy, which also is a fantastic name. Rory McIlroy, a golfer, his golf ball winds up in a lady's lap.
I heard about this.
This is so funny. Just bizarre, right? Rory McIlroy found his golf ball in an unusual spot during Thursday's open round of the DP World Tour Championship. And one fan went viral because of it. Basically, his drive on the 13th hole of the Gulf Estates Earth Course, the Jumeirah Gulf Estates Earth Course, it went long and it actually went into the crowd, and it settled on a lady's lap. She was sitting down, and it landed in her lap. And the rule is you have to play it from wherever it lands. Now, he made light of the situation, first pretending like he was going to play it as it lies before calling in the rules official to have a look. The official, like, it's like her legs are like crossed, like she's got her legs out in front of her and her ankles are crossed, right? And it's like basically nestled in by her knees. And it's like, you can't play that, right? Like, obviously not.
That's so weird.
And so the official said, just like move your legs, let it fall to the ground, and he'll play it from the ground. So it wasn't actually a big thing, but it was just so funny. For like half a second, some people were like, does he have to play it from there? Like,
it's weird. It's so bizarre.
Under the rules of golf, he was allowed a free drop, which he wisely chose to take. Unfortunately, it didn't keep him from making the second consecutive bogey, but he did shoot a 1 under par 71. So still good. You know, he did a good job or whatever. I don't know this golfer. I don't know anything about golf. Like, I don't follow golf at all. However, it did create a moment that fan surely won't forget for the rest of her life.
I mean, he should have hit it off her leg.
To have a man walk over with a golf club and threaten to swing at your... It made me laugh.
That is uncomfortable.
It's like,
That's
what's happening?
Yeah, I don't watch golf. I don't know who anybody is, so.
No, I do like the name Rory McIlroy, though. I think that's a pretty solid
Sounds
name.
like a golfer.
Doesn't it? Like,
It
I think that just fits. Rory
Yeah.
McIlroy stepping up to the
Yeah.
plate. There's no plate. What do you step up? Step up to the tee. He's on the green.
You
I
really don't know anything about
don't.
golf. That's funny. Oh, my goodness.
What's the Adam Sandler? Is that Happy Gilmore?
Gilmore. Maybe that's why Rory McIlroy sounds like Happy Gilmore.
I like it.
Oh, man. Okay. So mine is along a similar vein. It's an athletics story.
Nice.
So a Scottish runner gets a 12-month ban for using a vehicle in an ultramarathon.
What do you do? Okay, so a Scottish runner.
A long-distance runner, Joasia Zakurzewski, was banned for 12 months by a UK athletics disciplinary body on Wednesday for riding a car during a 50-mile race in April and accepting third place.
So it's a super long distance.
It's a woman.
Okay.
So data tracking from the system at the GB Ultras Manchester to Liverpool showed that this person who represented Scotland in the marathon at the 2014 Commonwealth Games used a car for a 4-kilometer stretch of the race. The 47-year-old, who was stripped of her third place, claimed she had informed race officials about having been in a car and finished the race in a, quote, non-competitive way.
That's not a thing. No, that's her being.
But she still collected the trophy at the end. It was like...
I finished in a non-competitive way.
She had collected the trophy at the end of the race, something which she should not have done as she was completing the race on a non-competitive basis, they said.
If that's what she said.
She also didn't seek to return the trophy in the week following the race. So she accepted the trophy, but she rode for 4 miles in a car.
So it sounds like this wasn't controversial. She knew this was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, I know.
willingly did this. Then just was like, oh, yeah.
For 4 kilometers. That's a couple of miles, right?
Yeah,
like,
sorry, not 4 miles, 4 kilometers. But still, like.
What?
I'm a little tired. I think I'll just ride in the car here.
Who's offering a runner like if
An
you're
Uber driver.
Yeah.
An Uber driver. She's got her phone. She whips out her phone. I'll just call an Uber. I'm really tired.
It reminds me of the Michael Scott Fun Run episode.
Where they sit down and have a beer.
They just get a cab to the end and then they sit down and have a lunch.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And then they go.
Oh, I think it's time, guys.
Yeah, we got another 20 minutes, right? Yeah. Okay.
I saw that and I was like, wait, what? Really? I was just competing in a non-competitive way. But thank you for the third place trophy.
Which I'm going to take home with me and keep.
Putting it on my shelf.
Yeah,
Remember the time I won this race?
It's funny how long that took. 2014. It's almost 10 years later. They finally take this lady's trophy away.
Bizarre.
That's not cool. Like that, she should have known better.
She did know better.
She did, yeah. She in the moment. Oh, I finished it in a not. I was just finishing it for funsies. But thank you for this award.
Yeah, right.
All right, so this is not... So most of our news stories are like funny, goofy, dumb things that we found on the internet or whatever. But this one struck me, and actually I saw like a thing about it, and I was curious, so I went diving a little bit. And so I found it's almost it's not a news story. It's like a documentary sort of thing. But it's the real story behind Rudolph the Red Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
Did you know the real story? It's a really cute little story. So because this episode is dropping the day after Thanksgiving, that's when I consider, we have shifted. Lent is going to come up in just a few. Sorry, Advent is what I meant.
I was like, aren't you a pastor? Do you know the difference between Lent and Advent?
So it's about Rudolph. The framework for Rudolph is actually after a young Jewish girl who was made fun of for being Jewish.
And where did you find the actual details for this story?
So this is a CBC.
Is a Reddit article.
No. The CBC documentary channel. For many people, Christmas will forever be associated with the television specials they watched as children. There may be no better loved program than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's a whole big thing. But there is a new CBC documentary called Dreaming of a Jewish Christian where they explore the origins of many things, unlikely songwriters and such. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was, in fact, penned by a Jewish writer, and the inspiration for his little reindeer came from the loss of his wife and the love he had for his daughter. So it actually started with a book. It was a guy who wrote a book first. And so he, 1939 Jewish Chicago copywriter named Robert May. This is the guy who came up with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. May worked in the ad department at Montgomery Ward, which I'd never heard of. It's a department store chain.
Yeah, it was like prior to Macy's.
Right. So it's second only to Sears as America's largest retailer. So this is way back in the 30s. Yeah. Big, huge retail store. And every year they would purchase and give away free Christmas coloring books. And so they decided that they would create their own. So they gave the task of writing the coloring book to May with the instructions, make it about an animal. Now, that year, his wife contracted cancer, and then she died a few months later, so he was left to raise their daughter Barbara all alone. The employer suggested that he quit work on the book and just turn in what you got so far, but he refused. He said, I need to finish this story for me, right? So it became kind of an emotional thing for him to complete this little coloring book that he was making. Remembering his daughter's love of deer at the Lincoln Park Zoo, so Chicago-based, May invented the subject of his book, A Little Reindeer with a Shiny Nose. He thought the creature might be a symbol for himself and Barbara at happier times lay ahead. So it came out Christmas 1939 and was an instant hit. Montgomery Ward gave, these are just free coloring books that they gave out. They gave out 2.4 million copies. They only stopped because there was a wartime restriction on paper. So then,
1939.
Yeah, so 7 years later, when the wartime restriction went away, they printed even more in 1946. For all his efforts, he never received anything more than his salary. But in 1947, the head of Montgomery Ward, his name is Sewell Avery, perhaps moved by the spirit of the holiday, he gave the rights for Rudolph to the copyright owner. So they gave it to this Robert May guy.
Yeah.
Like, this was a little assignment, just make us a coloring book. And then they were like, this is a really big deal. And I think it's amazing that the company gave him the copyright because they totally could have made bank off of it.
With that.
So then May's Rudolph story soon reached legendary status because a songwriter named Johnny Marks married Robert May's sister, Margaret. So this copywriter guy, this Jewish copywriter guy who's raising his daughter, and he wrote the story about his daughter, his sister gets married to a songwriter who reads the story and says, I can make a song out of that. And so that's where the song comes from.
Wow.
Marx was another Jewish man from a secular Jewish family in New York. He was a decorated World War II veteran, blah, blah, blah. He had first become aware of the Rudolph story when it was published and began jotting notes. The year after his marriage into the family, he began adding music and quickly felt sure he had a hit. He asked the guy who did it, Gene Autry, to record it, and Autry did not like the song. He didn't like Rudolph. He thought it was dumb. And so his wife liked it and persuaded the musician who sang it to put it out as a B-side. So it was put out as like here's an extra track, right? The B-side became the second biggest selling Christmas song of all time, behind only White Christmas.
Wow.
Isn't that so fun? So then that gave inspiration to the 1964 stop motion film, which was produced by Rankin Bass Productions and Rankin Bass. And the reason, so this is a Canadian documentary.
Yeah, you said CBC.
And so it's like most of the voices in this are Canadian. in that Rankin Bass movie. There were a few that weren't, but the popularity of it has never waned. It's been broadcast every year since 1964, making it the longest running Christmas TV special in history.
I mean, I watched it a couple weeks ago when the boys were sick, so we own it. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's classic.
That's crazy. I've never known that.
It was a coloring book written by a Jewish copyright.
Coloring book. That's cute.
For like Sears. Yeah. Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Ward. Yeah, I've known about Montgomery Ward. It was a Chicago-based company. I remember it was still... if you go downtown Chicago, there's like those big, those department stores that are like the flagship stores where they put all the Christmas decorations in the windows.
Oh, yeah.
And it used to be called the Montgomery Ward Building, and they would put the scenes in, but now it's Macy's.
I see. Okay.
And they do the window display decorations where you can go through at Christmas time and look at all the cool decorations.
There was a guy at the church I was serving when we were living in Chicago. He was the head of the altar decorating crew. Okay. His full-time job was those he had. I can't remember which department. One of the big ones downtown. But that's all he did was decorate those windows. They're a big deal.
When we lived downtown Chicago, I used to take the red line down to State Street or down to Michigan Ave, and just like I'd go do a little Christmas shopping, mostly just look at the window decorations because they were so cool.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of money when we were in Chicago.
No, anything free was great.
I spent all my money on $200 fries, so I mean,
that was New York, JJ, New York.
But I thought that was the cutest story. Really I just kind of fell down a rabbit hole researching that, and then I found the article, and I was like, "This is so
that's super random,
fun."
But cute.
Well, and so it actually started because of all the sort of anti-Semitic and Palestine and Jewish and Hamas and all this stuff that's in the news, and then it was like this little story about a girl who felt really uncomfortable because of her Jewish faith and her background. Yeah. And Dad kind of wrote her a story based on her childhood love of deer. And I mean, I know it's not like this great social commentary or anything. No, it's just a cute kid story.
That's cute.
Although I do think the message of like accepting people who are a little bit different, and loving people even when they're different, like that's one of the best illustrations from my childhood. Like one of the best, most sticky stories that kind of you remember. So
it's true.
But anyways, all right. So are you ready for Sponsor Your Life?
Yeah.
What do you got?
So this past weekend, just yesterday for us, but we participated as a church in the Saginaw Christmas Parade. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Heart of the Holidays or Spirit of the Holidays or Spirit of the Season or something. But our church participated in that. You were not there.
No, I had a meeting.
A bum. But I took the boys.
I just sat on the couch all day. It was great. There were 24 people from our church who walked in the parade or rode. It was a big thing, yeah.
It was a big group. And me and the boys walked, and I walked.
24 people out of a church that averages like 60 in attendance on a Sunday.
Yeah,
so that's a big chunk of the church.
It was really cool. It was fun to see so many people participate, and we won we won a little award, a participation award.
No. So you said that earlier. There was a participation ribbon, and the award was not participation.
I know.
It was a real award.
Yeah, we did win a real award.
The nonprofit category.
Nonprofit category. Yeah. It was and so it was a good parade. Everybody was very excited, happy, smiling. We handed out some stuffed animals and some toys to the kids. I had some candy too, but mostly just kind of trying to connect with the community, trying to connect with people. It was a cold day, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Walked 3 miles / ran 3 miles while pushing the wagon. But it was fun. We had a really good time, and it was
kids were wiped.
They were exhausted. It's the first time that all 4 of them have slept incredibly heavily.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the day, it was shocking. So, but it was worth it. It was really good. So
That's awesome.
It was a fun morning.
That's so great. Yeah, when because you went from there to pick me up from my thing. And I mean, the kids were all just
they were zonked out.
They had a great time.
They were so tired.
It's so cute. Yeah, I haven't gotten to be in any parades or anything this year, but no, I'm glad for those who organize them. Because honestly, parades like with churches and stuff, like sometimes it's like it's a lot of work.
It's hard. It's hard to organize volunteers and stuff.
And I'm thrilled by the turn out. So I'm very grateful to those who did it.
So good for people to connect with the community and kind of not just get our name out there, but just like connect with people and be like, hey, come to our church, So it was a lot of fun.
So good. I love that. Let's see. Okay, so I know I'm on a food kick, but I've been traveling, and that's my favorite thing about traveling is eating food in different places. So I got to talk about Hattie B's spicy chicken. It's
down in Nashville.
Incredible. So we went down to Nashville. I went on this trip, which was kind of a nuts trip. Our flights got delayed, and then we ended up canceling those tickets and then just renting a car and road tripping it down, and that involved very late nights and whatnot. But when we arrived, I was talking to the lead pastor of the church that was hosting us at this conference, and I was talking to him. I was like, "Do you ever get tired of barbecue? Because that's Nashville, right? It's like barbecue." And he's like, "I do." I do get tired of it, because I was kind of thinking our group was going to hit some barbecue at night, and then we were like, "No, how about Hattie B's?" Because apparently it's a chain, and at least I know of the 2 locations. Amazing. And it was weird. On that trip, I think I had 5 spicy chicken meals. I just kept getting them. I had on the road trip down, we stopped at Burger King, and I had their spicy chicken, which was pretty it was okay. For fast food, it was fine. But then we got down there, and we went to this one breakfast place, and I was like, what do you have that's spicy chicken? And then I went to the next place, and it's like the whole trip, I was all about the spicy chicken. And Hattie B's spicy chicken sandwich it was an experience. It was just amazing. It was so stinking good. I like me some hot spicy chicken. And they warned us. They were like, okay, here's the levels. And I went to the top of the normal levels. There were 2 more extreme levels above me. And I was like, nah, I want to actually feel my tongue tomorrow. So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
It was awesome. It was so delicious. And I was just like, I can't believe how good. I just, because when people recommend something, it's like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah, you always kind of take it with it.
But it lived up to the reputation, which I was surprised for something that's a chain. I kind of look down on chains because they're standardized across whatever. So I was like, a local place would have been better, but we went to Hattie B's and when we said Hattie B's, the organizers called out from the table. They're like, yeah, Hattie B's. And I was like, all right, well, that's cool. It's a little endorsement there.
Sure.
And when we got there, it was worth every penny. It was delicious. Nice. And it did not cost $200.
Oh,
I think my sandwich cost $12 or something like that.
Expensive, but it's
it was a normal eating out.
No gold dust on top.
No gold dust, but man, just every bite was just So anyways, Hattie B's spicy chicken sandwich. So I'm realizing, and maybe this is just a phase for me or something, but spicy chicken sandwiches might be my favorite thing ever. Everywhere I go looking for the spicy chicken sandwich. If they've got one, I'm gonna go for that.
I don't think I believe that. I think everywhere you go, you look for pizza and Taco Bell.
I like those things too.
Oh boy.
Food's a great part of life, and I just enjoy
I'm over here talking about participating in the community and walking around. You're like, I just want chicken.
Spicy
I just want to eat chicken.
That's all.
Last week I ate at Chick-fil-A, and we did. I ate at Chick-fil-A on the way home from your trip from Detroit.
Yes, we did.
Oh my gosh!
And I got the spicy chicken sandwich.
Chicken.
Oh man! So, all right, that's awesome. Okay, so now it is time for another round of Man Shrek Mad Libs. Where what I've done here is I've got it. Oh, let me bring it up here for a second. Let's see if I can get this to go over there. Beautiful. All right. So the way this works is I have a story or, this one's a story. Sometimes it's like a news article or a song or I don't know, a poem or whatever. But, and so I'm just going to give out parts of speech and you give me a thing and I'm going to fill it in and we'll do our Mad Lib.
Cool.
All right. I need a name.
Barbara.
Barbara. I like that. From that story.
You said that little girl.
Yeah, that little girl.
So.
Which, born in 1939 or whatever.
It's totally
so cute.
Fitting.
Or not born in 19, but that's when Dad wrote this story. So I need another name. Another
name. Donald.
Nice. All right, now I need an adjective.
Sticky.
I like it. Body part.
Toe.
I like it. Verb.
Jog. Is it plus ing or just?
I'm gonna make it past tense so that it fits.
Oh, jogged.
Yes. I need another verb. Past tense verb.
A past tense verb.
Yeah.
Flew.
Well, that's weird. Fly works better. I'm looking at it. I'm like, flew doesn't work. Sorry, I'm bad at this. Plural noun.
Socks.
All right. Holiday.
Thanksgiving. Since it's coming up.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have passed by the time this episode drops.
It's true. This is after Thanksgiving, and we are good at leaving our holidays behind. I'm getting ready for Valentine's Day.
We didn't have the baby yet.
Oh, shoot.
I would just, this is totally random and tangential, but I was seeing this article that said that plumbers warn people everywhere about the day after Thanksgiving because it's their busiest day of the year and they call it Brown Friday.
That's disgusting.
I know. Isn't that awful?
That's amazing.
It was like, brace yourselves for Brown Friday, and it went,
that's gross. That's really funny, and I totally believe it. People eat way too much junk, and then they just destroy their toilets the next day. Oh my gosh,
that's disgusting.
That is disgusting. Wow. And poor...
But keeping plumbers busy.
Those poor plumbers.
Poor plumbers.
I would charge double that day.
Oh, absolutely. You know, like, it's a holiday.
I need a noun.
A noun.
Mm-hmm.
Mailbox.
Mailbox. Love it. Ugh, I can't spell. All right. Woodland animal.
Squirrel.
Emotion.
Giddy.
Yeah. All right.
The best emotion.
School subject.
School subject. Algebra.
Algebra. I can spell. All right. Are you ready?
Sure.
Randy the Rhubarb Reindeer.
Oh, dear.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Barbara and Cupid and Donald and Blitzen.
Actually,
it works. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the Sticky Reindeer had a very shiny toe.
Oh,
and if you ever saw it, you would even say it jogged.
Maybe.
All of the other reindeer used to fly and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer socks. Then one foggy...
The toe. The toe is bad.
It's pretty good, actually. You got toe and jogged and socks. Then one foggy Thanksgiving, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my mailbox tonight?
Oh, so bright.
With your toe. Oh, you're right. You're right. I should have kept... Yes.
JJ.
All right.
No consistency
with your
here.
toes so bright, won't you guide my mailbox tonight?
Gotta get those letters somehow.
Then all the squirrels loved him as they shouted out with giddy. Randy the Rhubarb Reindeer, you'll go down in algebra.
Oh,
I think
boy.
I'm the only one laughing at this point, but I had a lot of fun with
We
that.
had to listen to you sing to it.
I couldn't. You can't just read it.
Glee is a noun, not an
It's
adjective.
well, I said emotion.
Oh, emotion.
And so, because I wanted glee, and I thought you'd put in anything, they shouted out with, and you went with Giddy's actually pretty close to glee. It's kind of like, because I went more, how do I say this? I didn't just say parts of speech.
Yeah.
I like said woodland animal or holiday or, trying to keep it in the ball.
that's Mad Libs. Mad Libs does that too.
Yeah. Do they? I thought they mostly did like noun and,
No, they'll say name of person in room or.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
animal.
That's better. So anyways, that was our Man Shrek Mad Lib to usher in the Christmas season. I thought that was
shiny
pretty
toes.
good.
They don't let you in the socks.
All right, I'm enjoying it. We for a little while we went like longer episodes, but I'm enjoying these little short ones.
It's kind of nice.
We're busy, we're tired, and we're just like, let's just do fun little episodes. So we'll get back to because this is about what we normally do time wise. So, anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. If you wanted to head over to Spotify, leave us 5 stars, or Apple Podcasts, you can leave us like a written review and tell us how much you love everything that we do. And yes, we're just so thankful for all those downloads and listens. I can't believe this is episode 81, which is amazing. But All right. Are you ready to send us out with the mom joke of the week?
Yes. Now, I realize the Thanksgiving holiday will have passed when this episode drops, but it could be applicable for Christmas because it's holiday themed. So,
I'm so ready.
anyways, how does a turkey travel?
Trot.
By gravy train. It's bad. I know, it's real bad.
I like
All
it.
right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.